And so I was sitting there and I was like, I read this book a long, long time ago. And I was thinking to myself, like, dang, I really want this book. And just by that thought, just by having that thought, a friend of mine called me up out of the blue, like, I'm going to send you this book. And he ordered it for me. And the thing about this book is it's no longer in print. This is Paracelsus, an alchemist. And if you don't know anything about Paracelsus, Paracelsus is actually the reason why we draw blood, or the hospitals draw your blood and check out your blood chemistry when you go in to see that balance of metals, to see if everything within your blood is in balance. And so Paracelsus was an alchemist. And what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of great inventors like Einstein, Da Vinci, they were all alchemists. They believed in this higher power, not just science. And so what I wanted to do was read you an excerpt from this book, because the other day I was watching this channel about the planets, like this science program, like Novi, I think it was, about the planets. And I'm sitting there listening to the scientists talk about, where the planets should be. And they literally said that Jupiter was in the wrong place because they can't figure out how Jupiter got to where it was. And I'm sitting here like, how in the world can Jupiter be in the wrong place if it's there? Like, it's physically there. So how can you as a scientist say that Jupiter is in the wrong place because you can't figure out how it got there? And that's a lot what scientists do with crystals. You know what I'm saying? They can't figure out why they work, so they just say they can't work. And so as I was reading this excerpt in Paracelsus, it explains everything. So what it says is, recent researches in the ethereal realms of mysticism, metaphysics, and transcendental anthropology have proved beyond a doubt the existence of a great number of apparently mysterious and occult facts whose causes cannot be explained by science, whose means for investigation are limited to the imperfections of the senses, what you see, what you smell, what you taste, and what you touch, and whose researches must necessarily come to a stop where physical instruments cease to be of service. So that's the same thing with Jupiter, because they can't measure it, because it's beyond their instruments to be able to measure it. They came up with the conclusion that Jupiter is in the wrong place, but it's there. So how can it be in the wrong place? Invisible things cannot be seen, like our energy is invisible. Invisible things cannot be seen. Neither can that which is imponderable be weighed with scales, but invisible and imponderable things such as the cosmic ether, the light-producing power of the sun, the vital power of plants and influences, animals, thoughts, memory, imagination, will, psychological influences affecting the state of mind, are producing sudden change of feeling, and other things too numerous to mention, are nevertheless a fact, and exist in spite of incapacity of teachers of anatomy or chemistry to explain them. If a reasonable skeptic says that such things do not exist, he can only mean to say that they do not exist relative to his knowledge. Because to deny the possibility of existence of anything of which we know nothing would imply that we imagined ourselves to be in possession of all the knowledge that exists in the world and believe that nothing could exist which we do not know about. And that's really what it is when it comes to crystals. Because scientists can't measure that energy, because their instruments can't measure the energy of crystals, and they can't see exactly how crystals work, they say they're woo-woo. But the thing is, there's tons of things that we don't know how they work, and they're a fact. They're there. We don't possess all the knowledge there is in the world. But when you say something isn't possible, you're speaking like, you know everything, which is not true. Crystals work on our energy, and our energy can't be seen, just like our thoughts can't be seen, just like, our imagination can't be seen. But to deny that it's a possibility would be crazy. And that's how, scientists view it. So crystals really do work. And if you work with them, you can see the changes within your energy. You see that. Like when I pick up a crystal and I go to manifest with that crystal, I see the evidence of my manifestation coming into my reality. The thing is, we have a veil of illusion. This veil, and our veil of illusion is through our five senses. It keeps us from seeing energy as it really is, because what's happening is, when you see an object, you're not really seeing an object. You're seeing light. You're seeing that light. That light comes into your eyes, and your brain takes that light and transforms it into an image, which creates a veil around what's really there is the illusion and the things that we can't see because they are veiled by our senses. And crystals work on that energy. Crystals pull that energy in to your environment. Whatever crystal that you're working with, that vibration of crystal is pulling that vibration into your energy so that you can observe it with your senses. It pulls that light energy in so you can now see it, so you can now hear it, so you can now smell it, so you can now taste it, so you can now touch it. And that's how crystals work. They align that energy in a really positive manner. But I did scope earlier today, like the problem with crystals. Hey, what's up, Anthony? How are you? And the problem with crystals is not knowing how to use them, because science says they're woo-woo. So many people won't pick up a crystal, or sometimes, you pick up a crystal and it works, but you don't really work with it like you should, because there's this big mystery about, exactly how the crystal works and how it works on your energy. But when you grab your crystal, it's great to see you too. When you grab your crystal and you begin to work with it. And exactly how do you work with crystals? Stay tuned for the next post and you're going to find out. Leave a comment below and let me know what you experience when you work with crystals.